Yes, your eyes don't betray you. Anthropic just dropped not 13, but 18 free AI courses. You can become officially certified by the company behind Claude AI. In just a few days, you could stack a serious pile of certificates, which is insane because not long ago I almost paid $5,000 for one of those big AI bootcamps that taught half of this. Unbelievable! Is this what you were expecting me to say? A happy little list where I tell you take all 18, post certificates on LinkedIn, and now your AI career is safe? Because I did actually take most of them, so you don't have to. To let you know whether they're worth taking. And unfortunately, you won't like what I have to say. You will like what I want to say though, because yes, some of these courses are genuinely good and useful. And one of them actually is, in my opinion, the best free AI course out there. Now like this video to come back to it later because there's a lot of useful tips in it. And as always, there's a custom song at the end of the video. Enjoy! There are 18 courses available, but you absolutely don't need all of them, as some are for very specific professions, some repeat topics covered inside bigger courses, and the catalog order is not the best learning order for most people. So bear with me, and by the end of this video, you'll know which courses are worth taking, which ones repeat what you already learned elsewhere, and which ones you can safely skip, as well as some not obvious sources to expand your knowledge beyond this humble list of courses. So I grouped them into 3 blocks. Block 1, Foundation. What AI is, what it can do, and where it fails. Block 2, Claude Basics, Claude itself and Claude Cowork, mostly for non-technical users. Block 3, the Developer track. Claude Code, the API MCP plus the cloud-specific deployment. Let's start with the only block I think almost everyone should understand before choosing a tool. A foundation block. Because before you ask which Claude course should I take, you need to understand what kind of work AI is actually good at and where it can quietly mislead you. AI Fluency, Framework and Foundation is a must-take and the starting point for all categories of UX. This is the spine course for managers, team leaders, educators, and serious non-technical users. It teaches the 4D framework: delegation, description, discernment, and diligence. Or in simpler words, when should I use AI? How do I ask for what I want? How do I judge the output? And what responsibility do I still carry? The last one is the one people skip, as they think AI skill is just prompting. But real AI skill is judgment, because AI can produce something polished and still be wrong, or it can sound confident and miss the point, as well as save your time and create new risks at the same time. So this course teaches you how to think about AI collaboration, not just how to use Claude specifically. The framework works with any tool, and this is important for the whole video. A lot of these courses are Claude branded, but the real skill is broader than Claude. Delegation, description, discernment, diligence are easily transferable to ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and whatever comes next. And no wonder there's actually 5 branches of this course for more specific audiences. You see the list here. But please, don't treat the whole AI Fluency block like a Pokemon collection. You don't need all of them just because they exist. They are variations on the same core framework, but with different examples, exercises, and situations adapted to different audiences. So take the version that speaks to your daily work. AI Fluency gives you the collaboration framework, but A framework is only useful if you understand what the tool can and cannot do. That's where the next course comes in. AI capabilities and limitations is a must-take as well. This one is officially described as an introductory course about how AI works, which sounds basic, but matters more than people think. Most disappointing AI experiences come from a mismatch between what people expect AI to do and what it's actually good at. Some treat AI like magic, while others don't even get to this stage. They try it once, get a bad answer, and decide it's rubbish. Sorry, but both these perceptions are wrong. The useful position is in the middle. AI is powerful, but it has its limits. It can help you reason, draft, summarize, organize, brainstorm, code, analyze, and simulate, but at the same time, it can also hallucinate, flatten nuance, miss context, and make bad assumptions. So if you are new, take this early. It won't make you advanced, but it will make you less naive. And before we move from general AI literacy into Claude-specific courses, I need to pause and ask something slightly uncomfortable. Have you actually used any AI tool for real work? ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, Gemini, or anything else? If no, use one for a week on real tasks before taking more courses. Let it fail. Don't be afraid, as failure is not a waste of time. That is the moment the course material will start making sense. Without at least a little bit of experience, the course is theory you cannot anchor. Once you have that foundation, then it makes sense to ask, okay, if I'm going to use Claude specifically, where do I start? That brings us to block number 2. Take Claude 101 if you're new to Claude. Claude 101 is a guided tour of the Claude ecosystem. It covers prompting, projects, artifacts, skills, connectors, enterprise search, research mode, and other ways to work with Claude. Claude Code, Slack, Excel, Chrome, etc. It also introduces the 4D framework, so there's real overlap with AI Fluency. But the important distinction is that Claude 101 is a map, not the destination. It tells you what exists, but it doesn't really make you good at any one thing. If you're new to Claude, take it. If you already use Claude every day, you can skim it. If you're planning to take Cowork, the API course, or Claude Code anyway, Claude 101 is mostly orientation. But knowing what exists is only the first layer. The more useful question is, when should Claude stop being a chat window and start becoming something you delegate work to? This brings us to the Introduction to Claude Cowork, which is a must-take for knowledge workers. This is the best non-technical practical course in the whole academy. If you already understand Claude basics, Cowork is more useful than Claude 101, which tells you what Claude can do. Cowork teaches you which tasks are worth handing off. The decision rule the course gives you is actually gold. Cowork is best for work that is multi-step, file-based, or multi-tool. If a task means gathering context, comparing sources, drafting, formatting, and producing a real deliverable, that's Cowork. If it's just to help you think through something, chat is enough. For work inside a code base, use Claude Code, we'll talk about next. But the part I wish the course was louder about is connecting AI to your Google Drive, email, Slack, calendar, browser, and work laptop. Is not just turning on a feature, which is a permission decision. You are choosing what AI system can see, search, summarize, draft from, and sometimes act on. That doesn't mean never connect anything. It means be intentional. You shouldn't connect your whole Google Drive just because a demo looked good, as well as point Cowork at your entire document folder or test new workflows on irreplaceable files. Better start with the smallest folder. Use copies for experiments and do check your company policy before you connect work files. Expand only when you understand what Claude is doing. The course says to review every deliverable before you ship it. That's good advice because you are delegating the work, not the judgment, and this is where the course recommendation stops being about the courses and starts being about you. Because the same certificate means different things depending on why you click this video. And by the way, I also made a free Anthropic Academy decision guide with the course verdicts, overlap maps, safety checklist, and project ideas for each viewer type. So instead of screenshotting every slide, you can download the guide and use it as your roadmap. Link is in the description. Before diving into the next block of courses, I assume you have used some AI tools before. So let's find out who you are. As you've probably noticed, I like structure. So I assume there are three main kinds of people watching this, and knowing which one you are decides everything that follows. Category 1. You're looking for a job. You want a certificate for LinkedIn and something to talk about in interviews. I have to be honest, the certificate can help you get past the first filter, but it won't carry you through the process. You'd need proof that you're able to improve your workflow with AI's help. Category 2. You want a promotion. You want to become the AI person on your team. For this purpose, the certificate is a clean signal, but what wins you the promotion is a real workflow you implement at work. Show the manager the 5-hour a week you saved, not the badge. Category 3. The forever learner. You collect courses because learning feels safer than building. If that's you, put a like on this video because what I'll tell you next will give you a starting point to break the vicious circle of courses, trainings, and all of this. Open Claude or ChatGPT. Do one task badly today. You are ready, okay? And AI chatbots will walk you through the practicing process. Just ask. Oh, and by the way, the Skilljar course tests are pretty easy. I didn't even use AI to help and I passed everyone on the first try. So don't confuse passing the quiz with mastering the skill. A certificate only says that you finished the course, while a portfolio piece and real experience says that you can use AI to solve a real problem. That's the difference. And the truth you won't like is that the thing that makes you good at AI is not collecting certificates, really. It's using AI, getting bad results, hitting walls, fixing workflows, and learning what actually works. So, if certificates are not enough, what do you actually do after the course? This is where Anthropic quietly gives you one of the most useful pages, and most people skip it. The next link is for everyone, but especially category 1. The hardest part of learning AI isn't theory, it's actually starting implementing your knowledge. The fix is at Use Cases gallery of practical workflows. You can filter by your work, education, finance, HR, legal, marketing, and etc. Real examples, audit a folder of brand assets, adapt a textbook page to multiple reading levels, etc. Many cases. Each use case names the model used and the features. At the bottom of the page, there are write, learn, and code quick start prompts if you don't know what to type. Pick one workflow that matches your real life, implement and improve it. Because that is how the certificate turns into skill. And this is also where I want to be honest about the courses themselves. Some academy courses are excellent for structure, but they're not always the fastest teacher anymore. If you already know what you're trying to do, build a sales workflow, automate a report, connect Claude to files, use Claude Code in a repo, the official docs a strong YouTube walkthrough, and even Claude itself can often guide you faster and more personally than a general course. Up to this point, we've mostly talked about general users and knowledge workers. But if you write code, the Academy changes completely. The developer track is not just how to use Claude. It's about agents, tools, context integrations, and building actual AI systems. Claude Code is Anthropic's agentic coding tool that reads your code bases, edits files, runs commands, and works inside your development environment. The 101 covers the agentic loop, permissions, plan mode, context management, Claude MD, sub-agent skills, MCP, hooks, and code review. Basically, it touches almost every deep dive topic at surface level. So if you only need awareness, this may be enough on its own. While Claude Code in action is actually a higher value than the 101 if you actually write code. It shows real workflows, init command, Claude MD, screenshots, planning mode, thinking mode, custom commands, MCP servers like Playwright, GitHub integration, hooks, and the Claude Code SDK. Take this one and you may not need the 101 except for the certificate or quick orientation. And it's important to not watch these courses like Netflix. It's better to open a real repo while you watch. Ask Claude Code to explain whatever's unclear, use plan mode and make one small change, run the tests and review the diff. This way the course will land in your head much better. Once you understand the basic Claude Code workflow, the next question becomes, how do you stop repeating yourself? That's where skills come in. Agent Skills is a Claude Code course, not a general Claude course, so if you're non-technical, you better skip it. The Cowork course already covers skills on a basic level. Inside Claude Code, skills are reusable markdown files that teach Claude how to do something once, so it does it the same way every time. Peer review standards, commit message formats, documentation templates, brand guidelines, security check, etc. The course's best idea that was an insight for me is if you find yourself explaining the same thing to Claude repeatedly, that's a skill waiting to be written. Take it when repeated instructions become annoying, not before. Skills solve the repeated instructions problem, while sub-agents solve a different problem, keeping messy exploration out of your main conversation. Introduction to sub-agents is also Claude Code specific course. A sub-agent runs in its own context window, does the messy intermediate work and returns a summary to your main thread. Built-ins include general purpose, explore and plan. The course's insight I liked is that more agents is not always better. Sub-agents are great when you need the answer, not the journey. They're not your choice when intermediate work matters, like sequential pipelines when each step depends on the previous one, or tests where you need the full output to debug. If you only need to understand what sub-agents are, Claude Code 101 already covers it. Take this one when you want to design your own. But Claude Code is still mostly about working inside a development environment. If you want to understand how AI products are actually built under the hood, the most important course is not Claude Code. It's the API course, and my favorite course in the entire academy, which is not just for developers, to be honest, but for anyone serious about understanding how AI products work. 8 hours of video covering models, system prompts, structured outputs, evaluation, tool use, RAG, embeddings, MCP, agents, and workflows. This is the course that moves you from just using Claude or any other AI tool to actually understanding the logic of how it works. The most useful part for me was the prompt evaluation section about generating test datasets, model-based grading, code-based grading. That single skill changes how you write every prompt going forward because you stop guessing whether a prompt works and start measuring. The other section that genuinely upgraded my brain was the agents and workflows block near the end. Parallelization, chaining, routing, and the clean workflows versus agents distinction. That's the moment I understood why some AI products work and others fall apart. If you're not technical, skip the pure implementation lessons to keep the conceptual chapters around them. Evaluation theory, tool use theory, RAG theory, agents and workflows. Once you understand those, your prompting gets better even if you never wrote a line of code. And this is where one of the biggest overlaps happens, by the way, because the API course already gives you a surprisingly solid MCP foundation. MCP, Model Context Protocol, is the standard way Claude or any other AI tool connects to external tools and data. The three primitives are tools, resources, and prompts. Well, the API course already teaches this. It covers MCP clients, defining tools, resources, prompts, and the client-server flow. So if you took the previous course I covered, you don't need the dedicated MCP intro immediately. Take it only if you actually plan to build MCP servers, as MCP is not a beginner productivity skill but an integration skill. And the same is the MCP Advanced Topics course. Take it if you're shipping MCP servers that other apps depend on to learn more about production patterns, sampling notifications, file system access, transport mechanisms. Otherwise, skip it. Claude with Amazon Bedrock and Google Vertex AI are two cloud-specific deployment courses, so take any of these if you use these particular tools. But most viewers should skip both, because you know what? Free doesn't mean free. Your attention is the payment. But here's my honest developer advice. Don't let skill jar become your main IDE. If you write code, the courses should orient you, not replace building. If you write code, the courses are good, but they're not the fastest route to building. Here are the 4 sources to open alongside them. 1 is the official docs. 2, the Claude Quick Starts repo on GitHub. It gives you working starter projects you can clone today. 3, the Anthropic cookbook for working patterns like RAG, embedding, and vision. 4, the courses repo on GitHub with code-first notebooks on prompt engineering, evals, and tool use. All these links I put in the cheat sheet along with the 18 courses and a quick decision tree. Link to download it is in the description. Some of the advanced devs might want to add Claude Certified Architect to their collection, but it's not the same as these 18 courses completion certificates. This is a much more serious technical certification. It's a technical exam for solution architects building production applications with Claude. The important nuance is that it's available only for Anthropic partners, not as casual as a public badge for every Claude user. Which kind of makes sense. Anthropic provides some exclusive bonus for their partner companies with foundational knowledge who are ready to demonstrate deeper applied expertise. This is a 2-hour proctored scenario-based exam which doesn't create knowledge but validates it. It's much harder than the skill jar quizzes. There are the training materials and test exam to get the idea of what it looks like. Do you think Anthropic should make it open to everyone? I'd really like to add this one to my collection. Let's discuss in the comments. By the way, the skill jar itself is not the whole Anthropic learning ecosystem. If you want a deeper dive into Anthropic's materials, there's Anthropic Academy tab that leads you to the hub that has 3 paths. Built with Claude, which is the developer path. Claude for work, the team path, role-by-role guides for engineering, HR, marketing, products, sales, etc. If you're a marketer or HR person, the role guide might be faster than another certificate. Claude for personal, which is the individual path, AI Fluency as the centerpiece, plus artifacts, projects, skills, etc. If you only watch the skill jar courses, you miss half of what's out there to learn. So after all of that, the courses, the overlaps, the certificates, docs, and everything we've discussed, here's the part I actually want you to remember. This is the part I promised at the start. These courses are good. Building with the Claude API is honestly one of the best free AI courses I've ever taken. But most people watching don't need to take all 18, and some of you don't need another course at all. You need to open an AI tool and use it on something real. A real document, workflow, annoying thing you do every week. You will get a bad answer or output because that's how you learn to add context. You'll try to automate something and it'll break halfway through. Good! That's how you learn workflow design. But don't give Claude too much access. This should feel uncomfortable, meaning you understand boundaries. And even more uncomfortable part is that for many specific tasks, a course is not a faster teacher anymore. If you already know what you're trying to do, build a sales workflow, automate a report, connect Claude to files, or use Claude Code in a repo, the official docs, a strong YouTube walkthrough, or Claude itself can often guide you faster and more personally than a general course. That is the part no certificate can give you. The certificate says you finished the course, but it doesn't mean you can solve messy real problems. It doesn't mean you know when AI is useful and when it is dangerous. And it for sure don't guarantee you can build a workflow, debug it, improve it, and explain why it works. Doing makes you the expert, not the badge. And don't think these courses provide knowledge that only applies to Claude. Once you understand prompting, context, delegation, evaluation, tool use, retrieval, workflows, and limitations, those skills transfer to every tool. Claude is especially strong for long context writing, documents work, and coding. ChatGPT has one of the broadest ecosystems of features, integrations, and workflows. Gemini is strong on multimodal and Google native use cases. Perplexity is built for research-style answers with visible sources. Use multiple, don't become loyal to one interface. It's important to know what each tool is best at. So download the free decision guide below. Pick your spine course and most importantly, pick the real task you're going to use AI on this week for. Because the certificate is from Anthropic, but the skill is yours. And it only becomes yours when you use it. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Courses on the screen, shiny badges looking clean. Don't click all just to feel smart. Pick the one that fits your start. A course can give you where to go. A badge can make your profile glow. Oh, but if you never tried the tool, you only learned another rule. Claude gives maps, Cowork is flow. API shows what's down below. MCP if you build the bridge, don't get stuck on learning's ridge. A course can give you where to go. A badge can make your profile glow. But if you never tried the tool, you only learned another rule. Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini 2, different tools